Good morning and welcome to the last of the musical moments. This will be my last live coming to you, as next week I am sort of in and out as we prepare for our transition, and the week after that I'm only here for 2 days, and then I transition to where I will need to be, but return of course on Sunday morning. So this is the last musical moments that I will share with you for this. So we don't have much to do, we just have some music today. Sort of save the best for last maybe. So let's get started. The first one is Blessing and Honor. Just a great hymn. Blessing and honor and glory and power and praise be to the Lamb. So here we have Blessing and Honor. That's a good hymn, I think, to start off with today. So there we have blessing and honor and glory and power. Next is a great hymn for when we celebrate All Saints and the people that have gone before in our lives that we can use an example of our faith. It also comes from the book of Revelation. It's a Norwegian folk tune, so I'm not going to try to attempt to say the tune name. However, the English by Gracia Grindal is Behold a Host Arrayed in White. Wonderful, wonderful hymn. It brings to mind, these people that struggle through life, those that we call saints, whether the church recognizes them as saints or we individually recognize them. There's in the Catholic tradition, there's a man, John Vianney, who was a priest in France and was drafted into, grew up at a time when Catholicism and being in church was not, you couldn't do it. It was illegal. And so he was educated by a nun in their house, and they would go to mass in barns, and they would block the windows so that they wouldn't see, people outside wouldn't see candles burning. But when it became okay to be, to worship freely during Napoleon, he had began studies, but then he was drafted into the army and became ill, and then went into hiding, became a deserter. And then after after the war, they gained the okay to come. It was okay for the deserters to come out. So he regained his studies, and for whatever reason, he was put in a remote town. And it's said that he spent, he wanted people to have forgiveness of sins. So he spent hours in the confessional, freezing, sometimes only eating one potato every couple days, and just kept going because he wanted people to know that their sins were forgiven. But people even like Padre Nieves and his band of people from Mexico during the Civil War, when it was illegal for them to be ministering because the government thought the church was corrupt and was causing issues. He still ministered to those people. Mother Teresa, spent her life with the poor. I just think this hymn brings to light all of these people in our lives that are a good example for us to live by and remembrance of. So there we have, Behold a Host Arrayed in White. Next. This next one is maybe not necessarily a total favorite, but it comes we use it really sort of at the end of the year, like November-ish. So these next couple hymns revolve around the time period of harvest and Thanksgiving and Christ being king. So here we have the hymn, Crown Him with Many Crowns, which, if you are a big Sister Act fan, is one of those movies that I really enjoy. And they attempt to sing this hymn, Crown Him with Many Crowns. is the dentist hymn. Crown him with many crowns. So when you go to the dentist next time, you can remember that and sing that for your dentist. And maybe, just maybe, they will sing along with you. Maybe not, you never know. Anyway, so I was thinking, as I was playing that, there is a hymn. I don't know. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see if I can play it without the whole accompaniment on it. This is the hymn that I first played in church years ago. Not this church. This hymn, I must have been like 10 or 11 or 12, somewhere there. So we're talking almost 28 years ago. And I played it, and a lady came up to me after Mass and said, you could be in the basement of the church and it would still be loud and horrible. I remember that very distinctly, and I never wanted to play again because I was so embarrassed. And it was my first time playing, yep. So this is the hymn that started it all way back when, 28-ish years ago. It was a big-ish book, and it was yellow. It was given to me by Bonnie, what was her name? Bonnie Plummer gave it to me, and yep, I just remember that book. It was old and worn, and they weren't using it anymore, and that was my first book. Way back when, 28 some years ago. I like to think that maybe I've gotten just a smidge better, or maybe I've regressed. I don't know. Anyway, that's a fun trip down memory lane. let's go back to our regular scheduled program. So this next is a hymn by Henry Alford. I love this hymn. Any chance that I can put it in without overdoing it, I will. This is probably my favorite Thanksgiving hymn. Come, ye thankful people, come. Fall and harvest and excitement. Next, I am not ashamed to admit that I'm trying to find the text as I talk to you. I'm not ashamed to admit that partially the reason that I like this next hymn is how the second verse starts. God makes the clouds drop fatness. So when I first heard this hymn when I was at the Presbyterian Church 9 years ago, we sang this. We sang an anthem based on this, and we got to the second verse, God makes the clouds drop fatness, and all singing stopped because I hadn't looked at it, and the choir didn't know it was coming, and we all giggled a little bit. So if you're ever thinking, well, I need to diet or I need to lose weight, well, it's not your fault because God makes the clouds drop fatness. So anyway, here we have our great hymn for harvest. Sing to the Lord of harvest. Sing to the Lord of harvest your songs of love and praise, with joyful hearts and voices your alleluias raise. By him the rolling season is the name of the tune, the German name for that. Sing to the Lord of Harvest. I love that one. And finally, our final hymn is just a song of giving thanks for the past year and a couple weeks, being able to come into your homes, wherever you watch this, to allow me to babble on, and sometimes in nonsense, and maybe not even make sense, but to sing with you and for you. But especially the past 7 years here at Zion, to be able to make music with you. As my time now in 3 weeks, we still have 3 weeks together, as our time draws to a close together. It's just thanks to God that we have been able to do this ministry and God's work together through the thick and thin, through joy and sorrow. We have journeyed and felt and seen God's grace together. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to minister through the gift of music to you. But thanks be to God that the song goes on. You know, it's not about me, it's not about my predecessors, it's not about the people that will come after me. It's about God and what God has given to us through the gift of music. So this last piece was written by Marty Haugen, who is a writer from Minneapolis in Minnesota, Minneapolis-St. Paul area. This was written for Weston Noble, who was the longtime choir director at Luther College in Decorah, Iowa. This is the closing song of Morning Prayer, of a Marty Haugen Morning Prayer. And it is Soli Deo Gloria, which is the text that I've ended my newsletters with. It's what J.S. Bach signed all of his music with. It is the Latin for to God alone be the glory. Soli Deo Gloria. To God alone be the glory this day and always. And so, my friends, I wish you adieu from Musical Moments. It's been a wonderful year of sharing this gift of music with you. I look forward to our next 3 Sundays together. We have some great music, some great texts, some great ministry to do together. And then our ongoing ministry together as brothers and sisters in Christ. And so thank you for joining me today, and I bid you a fond farewell, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye, friends.